It was 1948 in this small upstate New York town that modern American road racing was born. The brainchild of an ambitious young lawyer and car enthusiast, Cameron Argetsinger.
My father had an MG, and he'd read about the great races in Europe, and he wanted to recreate a race of that type here in Watkins Glen. And he persuaded the village fathers. Here's this young man, 27 years old with an MG, who sold them on this crazy idea. Let's have a race right down the main street, past the courthouse, up the hill, around the gorge. And amazingly, 10,000 people showed up. And it was an immediate success. And they planned for the next year, and there was something like 50,000 people who showed up. But crowd control became very difficult. There were private owners who owned the land, and we really could not keep people back away from the road. And in 1956, the present road track was built, and it was modeled on a European race course. And in 1961, the FIA awarded Watkins Glen the U.S. Grand Prix. And it ran here for 20 years.
Today, the Glen is the home of NASCAR's premier road race.
People used to say to my father, well, you weren't a NASCAR fellow. Aren't you sorry that sports cars are not the premier? And he said, nonsense. I'm so proud that NASCAR has now made it one of their premier races. And I think the NASCAR drivers like the road track.
Along the way, the local public library began to assemble a treasure trove of motorsports archives, photographs, and memorabilia. The problem? Where to keep it all, and how to make it accessible to the public.
John Bishop, who had founded IMSA, was concerned that a lot of the racing material that had been created over the years was being lost. People were throwing it away. So in 1998, which was the 50th anniversary of road racing in Watkins Glen, a number of people in the racing community, including the Collier family and John Bishop, got together and built the building we're in right now, which is about a 5,500 square foot purpose-built library. There are a lot of museums, car museums around the country, but we're unique. We really have the philosophy of a library. But unlike librarians that make you shh, we let people come in and they can have hands-on. We have material from all over the world. In this Motor Racing Research Center, we hope to be the Cooperstown of motor racing.
We absolutely aspire to emulate the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, although we will not be a racing Hall of Fame. We will be the unique center for archival records documenting the history of motorsports. So the future sees an expansion, and our governing council has been exploring options for expanding the specialized archival space that we're going to need, as well as our visitor services space here at the center. We've now filled the facility that was built 20 years ago, and next we need more specialized archival storage space. This is a nonprofit organization, so we rely on annual memberships, we rely on a couple of fundraisers, and for large collections coming to us, we ask for contributions to our endowment fund so that in perpetuity we'll be able to care for those collections appropriately and make them available to the world.